Hi everyone, it's Karen here from www.gethookedupcrochet.com. Otherwise, you know me on social media as @HookedUpCrochet. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I'm so happy you're here. If you could go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you'll stay up to date with all my free patterns and videos. Today's video is a tutorial. We are going to be making the double down beanie. Now, this beanie looks difficult, but I can assure you it's super easy. We get this amazing texture just by using double crochets. So, as always, let's go ahead and get our materials and get to making. For today's tutorial, I'm using Red Heart Super Saver in the color white, and then I'm using Red Heart Super Saver stripes in the color retro stripe. I'm also using my size I crochet hook, but you also need measuring tape, scissors, yarn needle, and then I have the optional size J crochet hook there because some of my testers for this beanie found it was easier to go up a hook size to do the body, so you may want to have that handy, but let's go ahead and get started. To start off, you are going to make a slip knot using your main color, and for me, I'm using white as my main color. Now I'm going to chain 9, and then in the second chain from the hook, I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across, resulting in 8 single crochets. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so there's my first single crochet, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. Now, here out for the rest of the brim pattern, we are going to repeat this next row. You will chain 1 and turn, then you will work a single crochet in the first stitch. Then in the next 6 stitches, you are going to work 1 single crochet in the back loop only. Then in your last stitch, you will work a normal single crochet through both loops. This creates a nice looking brim, and you have a clean edge at the top and at the bottom. So you're just going to continue this pattern until the adult size reaches 19 inches long. Now, I've been told before people think that 19 inches just is a little bit too short for a brim length around for an adult size beanie, but the way I look at it is like this. Over time, whenever you wear beanies, they stretch out, and even when you wash and dry them and care for them properly, they do tend to stretch out a little bit. So by doing 19 inches, it may feel snug at first, but over time, it's like a new pair of jeans. You break them in and it fits perfectly. So you're just going to keep completing this brim pattern until your length measures 19 inches long. So you just keep working all the way down. So here we go. I'll show you one more time. We are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and then you are going to single crochet in the first stitch. Then in the next 6 stitches, you are going to single crochet in the back loop only. Then in the last stitch, you will single crochet through both loops. And that just creates a nice clean edge at the top and the bottom. So go ahead and keep working this, and when we come back, we will join the 2 ends and start on round 1. Okay, I decided to speed this part of the video up because we are just connecting our brim. So you just chain 1, and then you have both ends of your brim meet, and you slip stitch the 2 ends together, and that will connect them. And you're just going to work 1 slip stitch in each stitch across, and that will connect your brim, and we'll be ready to move on to round 1. Okay, now that we've connected it, you're going to flip your brim right side out to hide that seam, and we're ready to move on to round 1. To start round 1, you want to chain 1 and evenly space out half double crochet stitches along the top of your brim. So I'm going to chain 1, then work a half double crochet stitch along the top of my brim. And the number you want to get for your adult size beanie is 58. So I'm going to evenly space out these half double crochet stitches all along the top of my brim. Now I know 58 sounds really small compared to my other types of beanie patterns I've done, but due to the style of this beanie, it tends to flare out a little bit. So starting out at 58 ensures a good fit for an adult size. Even with my big head, it still fits perfectly. If you're having trouble getting 58 half double crochets along the top of your brim, my testers found it was easier to bump up to a size J crochet hook, so that is an option. Or if you're still having issues, as long as you end on an even number, this pattern will work. So I'm going to keep working, spacing out my half double crochet stitches, and when we get to the end of this round, I'm going to show you how to end it. So I have been working and I'm coming up to the end of this round 1 where I'm working my 58 half double crochet stitches, and to end this round you're going to slip stitch to your first stitch, but instead of using the main color we are going to do a color change. So you insert your hook into the first stitch, then we are going to grab our other color and we are going to slip stitch to end this round. So I'm just going to lay my new color over the top and slip stitch to complete this round. Now sometimes you're left with a big loop right there, that white loop. If you pull on your white yarn or whatever other color you're using, it will tighten it up. Now I'm going to chain 1 to start round 2. Okay, to start round 2 you chain 1, which I already did. Now we are going to work 1 single crochet and the third loop from the previous round in each stitch all the way around, slip stitching to our first stitch. So we're just going to locate that third loop from the previous round and work 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Very easy, and I'm just going to keep doing this, and when we come back I'm going to show you how to end this round. You should end with 58 single crochets if you're making an adult size beanie. So I'm going to keep working, and when we come to the end, we're going to do another color change. All right, I've been working my way around. I'm coming up to my last 3 single crochets to complete this round. So there's my third one, and now I'm at 58. Now I'm going to insert my hook and slip stitch to the first stitch. We are going to drop that yarn, pick up our other color, and do the slip stitch to do a clean color change. And then you may have to pull that other strand just to tighten up that loop. And now we're ready to move on. To start round 3, we are going to chain 2, skip 1 stitch, and work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So I'm skipping the first stitch, then in the next one I'm going to work 2 double crochets. And you're just going to repeat this process all the way around until your last stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch and do a color change when we get to our first stitch. So go ahead and just keep on working, skip 1 stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this part of the video up so you don't have to sit here and watch me make all these double crochets. So you can pause the video here or you can just follow along, but I'm going to go ahead and keep on working. Okay, so I've been working my way around. I'm working 2 double crochets, then I'm going to skip the next stitch, then I'm going to work 2 double crochets into my last stitch. Then to complete this round, I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch of this round and slip stitch, but I'm going to drop that white yarn and switch back to the retro stripe. So we're going to do a clean color change right here to complete this round. Okay, to start round 4 and from here on out, we are going to chain 2 and skip 1 stitch. Then we are going to work 2 double crochets, and it's all about stitch placement. we are going to insert our hook into that second bar of the previous round, then into that skip stitch 2 rounds ago, and that's where we're placing our 2 double crochets. So we're still doing the same thing. It's all about stitch placement. So I'm going to work 1 double crochet, then I'm going to work another double crochet. I'm going to skip my next stitch, skip that next double crochet, then in the other one we're going to work into that second bar of that double crochet, then into the round before it's skipped stitch. That's where we're placing our stitch. So you're inserting, then you're going in there, and that's where we place our 2 double crochets. So this beanie, it's using basic stitches. It's just all about stitch placement. So you're going to do this all the way around, and when we get to the end of this round, I'm going to show you how to end this round. So just go ahead and keep on working, and it can be a little tricky at first, but just take your time. And like I said before, some of my testers felt it was easier to go up to a J hook for this round and for the rest of the body, so you may want to try that. But you insert your hook into that second bar of that double crochet, then into the round before it skip stitch, and that's where you place your 2 double crochets. So just go ahead and keep on working, and when we come back, I'll show you how to end this round. Okay, so I've been working my way around, and I'm coming up to the end of this round. So I skipped a stitch. Now I'm inserting my hook into that bar, then into the skip stitch from 2 rounds ago, and that's where I'm placing my 2 double crochets. Now I am right here where I have these 2 double crochets right here. I'm going to skip the first one, then go into that bar. Then from round 2, we're going to go into your first stitch, because remember we skipped that stitch. So that is how you complete round 4. And for the rest of the pattern for that matter, because the seam on this beanie is going to drift, but it's not noticeable. So you insert your hook into that bar, then into the skip stitch from 2 rounds ago. Now we are going to slip stitch to our first stitch, drop that yarn, and grab the other color. From here on out, we're just doing repeating rounds. You're going to start off, you're going to chain 2, skip 1 stitch, then you're going to work into that second bar of the double crochet from the previous round, then into that skip stitch from 2 rounds ago, and that's where you will place your 2 double crochets. So here I am doing that. Then I'm going to skip the next stitch, then I'm going to work into that second bar of that double crochet, then into the skip stitch from 2 rounds ago. And you just repeat this all the way around, and when we get to the end of this round, I'll show you how to finish it off. It's just like the round before, but just go ahead and keep on working, and I'm going to speed this part of the video up. Just like before, I've been working my way around. I'm going to skip that stitch, then work into that second bar of that double crochet, then we're going to cross over into the skip stitch from 2 rounds ago to complete this round. So it's just like we did before, and then after you do that, you're going to insert your hook into the first stitch, change colors to do a clean color change and to complete this round. So if you've got this, you've got the pattern. You're just going to keep building up and up and up. And I have sizing suggestions listed in the written pattern. You can find it on my blog or the PDF on Etsy. But when we come back, I'm going to show you how to finish off this beanie. I've reached just about my desired height. I am going to do one more round of repeats, and then I'm going to move on to my final round. Now I have fastened off my retro stripe, and I'm doing my last round of repeats in this color, and I'm not going to fasten off because I'm going to use the same color to do my final round where we do the decreases. So I'm just going to work my last round of repeats, and then we'll move on to the final round. So I've been working my way around with my final round, and I'm coming up to the end of this. You don't want to fasten off because you're going to use the same color for your final round where we do some decreases. So I'm just going to finish off this round and slip stitch to my first stitch, then move on to the final round. For your final round, you will chain 1 and work 1 single crochet decrease in each stitch all the way around until your last stitch, where you will slip stitch and fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing. So I'm just going to work my way around doing my single crochet decreases all the way around. So I've been working my single crochet decreases all the way around. Then at the end, I'm going to slip stitch to my first stitch, fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing, and we'll move on to that next. So using my yarn needle, I'm going to work this back and forth through every single stitch all the way around. Then I'm going to pull it really tight, and that will cinch the beanie closed. Next, I usually have a small hole left, and using that same yarn and needle, I just sew it shut, and then I tie off and hide my knot inside the hat. And I always add a pom to my hats because I just love the way it looks. Feel free to do whatever you like. This is what my beanie looks like all the way done. There are so many color combinations you can do with this beanie. This one was done in red heart as well. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I am at HookedUpCrochet. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and definitely check out my blog, and I'll be back with another video soon.